Which path is the best for Juggernaut? I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about this. Honestly, it depends on your loadout and what you need for the match. But don't forget that when Operator was released, the top path of Juggernaut received a nerf. However, it also gained flying detection, which made it more useful in certain situations. Now, if we're comparing pure DPS, then obviously the bottom path has higher DPS. But that doesn't automatically mean it's always the better choice. Well, technically, it is better overall, but the top path still has its uses. First, let's talk about the top path. It has a fortify zone, which means towers inside its range receive reduced stun and debuff durations. At maximum level, it can reduce debuff times by up to 50%, which is actually pretty good. Now, how about the bottom path? The bottom path has experimental weaponry, which allows it to deal extra damage to boss enemies. It also has lead detection, which is something the top path doesn't have. Personally, I would say the bottom path is better overall. It has higher DPS, deals extra damage to enemy boss, and can detect lead enemies. Yes, it costs more to max out, but that extra investment is worth it. That being said, this doesn't make the top path useless. The top path still has flying detection, costs less to max, and its fortified zone can be incredibly useful in certain situations. If you're dealing with enemies that constantly stun or debuff your towers, the top path can provide a lot of value to your towers. However, if your goal is simply to shred bosses as quickly as possible, then the bottom path is definitely the better option. But honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, I still think the bottom path is the superior choice overall, so that's probably the path I'd recommend using. If you guys have any thoughts on why the top path should also be considered, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.